in crime. Yes.
Thank you.
And we got extra special guests, Supreme Commander Isla, and I don't know your title these days, but she's my other daughter, super awesome, Azra. So anyways, awesome recipe. Let's get into it. Salsa, salmon, garlic, potatoes. The ingredients we have, of course, we got some potatoes, a little garlic powder, tomatoes, cilantro, a little salt and pepper, lime, onions, salmon. This doesn't get any easier than this, but you're going to absolutely love how we put these flavors together and the combination with the high heat cooking with simple flavors and the salsa coming together with just awesome, great dish. You're going to love it. If you're saying, hey, I would love that recipe, where is it? Please go to chefmarshallobrien.com/show. So you can sign up in advance to get the recipes and shopping list in advance. It's our way to help you. It doesn't cost you anything other than your time and your groceries. So I want to make sure you're getting that. Again, chefmarshallobrien.com/show so you can sign up. We send out the recipes Saturday morning, generally speaking, and we send out the recipe again as a reminder on Tuesday. Next week we're off because we've got family commitments, but then we'll be back on. We've been doing this show since last fall, and so we're learning, what people are into during the season and the time. And again, appreciate all of you that are participating, whether you're doing it live with us or you're doing it on YouTube on demand or even streaming live on YouTube. But the point is, whether you're doing it on your own or you're doing it with us in real time, love that you're doing it. It's awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get started. First thing you want to do is you're going to preheat your oven at 400 degrees. We're going to do high heat. Make sure that you have your top rack ready to go and your middle rack ready to go because we'll be doing potatoes and salmon respectively on those racks. So preheat the oven. I've already got that set up. I got to tell you a little random tangent. I learned that the self-cleaning feature of an oven actually works. Had these guys for 7 years and never tried it once. I am kind of embarrassed to say that. Any of you know about self-cleaning oven feature? Yeah, of course, Alex did. Okay, but I just learned that. Did you know about the self-cleaning oven feature?
I did.
I don't recall ever using it at our house. But
no.
Okay, anyways, moving forward, I'm easily entertained, and I hope all of you are as well. So we got our oven started. There's a few different ways you can do this. On the recipe, I say, put the salsa together first. So you definitely could do that. And the reason why I say that is because the flavors will blend together and it'll be nice. What I am going to do, just because of the whole TV magic situation, I'm actually going to start the potatoes, and I do have some in the oven, and in theory they're ready. But I'm going to actually do the potatoes first, but you can do this as you want. I'm going to do the potatoes first, starting. Sorry, I forgot Alex that I was switching it on him. Alex is good like that. All right, we're going to cut these into quarters, and you can see, very easy. Cut these up. I'm also, folks, doing a half batch. I have the other batch in the oven, but I'm doing it in a half batch, so that's why it might look a little bit sparse. Oh, look at that, man. Jack of all trades. He can whip those graphics together. Cut these up. You could do these in advance if you wish. And what I mean by that is, we talk about anytime you can chop things in advance for one dish or multiple dishes, it'll save you time. If you're making dishes on the weekend, for example, you can cut these up, as we just did, and then put cold water in there and put them in the fridge, and they will hold, and they will not oxidize, and they won't get yucky. So that you could definitely do. Just put them, submerge them in cold water, and they're ready to go whenever you want to roast them at a later time. Another little thing, there's another little cooking tip for you, is you could actually roast these in advance and then freshen them up in the oven if you want at a later time. So that's a nice little tip as well. Okay, we have our potatoes. We're going to put a little bit of olive oil on there, just like that. Questions, comments, thoughts. Questions, comments, thoughts. The way this works, again, folks, if you're just checking this out, is you will have received the recipe and shopping list in advance so that you can join us right now, cooking with us together. So hopefully some of you are out there tonight and you are with me.
Yes. Dominic is here. Tess is here. Liz is
Tess,
here.
Awesome. Love it. Thanks for being here. Again, got the recipes right here. So I already switched it up. That's kind of how, sorry about that. But I am going to put the garlic powder and If I was paying attention, I would have done half of the olive oil because the other half will go for the salmon. But I'm just so happy to be here that I did what I did, and that's life in the big city. Mix up your potatoes. You can certainly use a utensil. I'm just taking my parchment paper and foil, and I'm mixing it up here. It'll be a little fancier if you were using a utensil, but I have to tell you that our dishwashing space is not quite set up yet. I have I basically made a little washing station up, so I'm trying to minimize the dishes because I have to do them. It's not as fun without the dishwasher, I will admit that. Okay, potatoes are done. Easy as that. In the oven. Okay, we're gonna pop it in the oven. Actually, I'm gonna pop it in the oven that's on. Hang on 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay, beautiful. And then I'm going to move the other potatoes. Okay, those look great. All right, the oven, you know what? It's kind of funny. The oven door fell off on me because I was cleaning. I was having to put it back together, but that's a whole nother story. Didn't break. Okay, now let's do the salsa. This is what we were talking about. For the salsa, very, very simple. You can use any kind of I'm going to interrupt myself. I'm going to wipe off the juices from the potatoes because we don't need the starchiness from the potatoes in the salsa. All right, any kind of tomatoes you want to use, grape tomatoes, just big chunky tomatoes. You actually could get away with using canned tomatoes, although it's not my favorite. And I am going to make a special request. If you are in a presentation and you have people talking, and it's very disruptive, you might want to tell them to leave and they won't come back. All right, so as I was saying, just hypothetically speaking, I have made salsa with canned diced tomatoes. I'm honestly not a huge fan of it, but if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. So we're going to take our tomatoes and just chopping them up, and I'm not, it doesn't have to be uniform. You can really do it however you want. Any questions, any comments, thoughts?
Dominic says, have just one baking tray, so did the potatoes first. Nice thing, it's with the foil. I lift it right off when done, then put down new foil to the fish.
Awesome. Dominic, you're reading my mind. That's exactly what I was going to suggest. So you can make a big production out of this by having, you could do your potatoes, you got the salsa going, and then you could have another pan if you want for the salmon, or as Dominic pointed out, you can do what he said, and that's exactly what I did. So I got my potatoes done. I'll take them out, but let's finish this up. Very simple. This will be very, very easy, folks, if your knife is sharp. And I know that sounds like sort of a no-brainer, but a lot of times if the knife is dull, then you're pressing down really hard, you're smashing it, and more importantly, you could potentially cut yourself because you might slip. So I don't want you to cut yourself. Speaking of knife skills, I'd like to know, where are you this week with your knife skills? Scale of 1 to 4. Are you a ninja knife master or are you a 1? So 4 ninja knife master, 4 you need some help in the kitchen with your knife skills. Where are you, folks? Let me know in the comments below. Take some cilantro, chopping it up here. If you want to use any kind of, one thing I like about this is it's so flexible because you could use basil if you want to use any kind of fresh herb, frankly, for that matter. If you're not a cilantro fan, not a problem.
We have one from Brendan Finn.
Brendan, wow, gracing us from the East Coast, sir. That's so cool. Appreciate that. And you got a 1? Dude, you were like a 55 on the court, man. What happened to your, that was basketball, not knife skills. Okay, we'll work on that. Keep watching our show. Reach out. Let me know what I can do to help. I appreciate your honesty. You are very comfortable with your skills in the kitchen, and I respect you for that, sir. That's very, very cool. Okay, moving forward, we are making our beautiful, simple salsa that looks absolutely gorgeous. We're going to take a bit of the onion, and we're going to cut that. Again, I can't emphasize enough. If you can make things in advance, it's going to make your job so much easier when you're in the kitchen, all right? So just try to prep out some extra onions if you're doing a soup or you're doing whatever the case may be. Prep out some extra chicken. So with those knife skills, I want the knife to do the work. See how I let the knife do the work. We have a question for you. Since we are in our new location, we're in the process of configuring our audio setup. I would like to know from you, how does it sound right now? Let us know, is it sound fine? Does it sound, I don't know, just without overanalyzing it, like to know, I'd appreciate it. If you're watching online, no one in the studio needs to tell us the sound. Azra?
It echoes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I know it echoes in here.
It's kind of cool.
Is it cool? Yeah, there you go. It's a lot better than our old space. All right. Thank you. I wasn't like...
Yep. Dominic says somehow what echoey and louder.
Louder, okay. Appreciate that. As we get acquainted with our space and we get comfortable in here, we will be making proper adjustments as needed. And so.
Tess says very clear, a bit of an echo.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. I'm going to add the pepper in there. I actually combined some of the salt and pepper, but that's all right. Mixing that up, and then we'll do the fresh lime. Very simple. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to pull out those potatoes. That's right. You can see that I did, like I said, I did the half batch, and those are nice and crispy, and those look very, very awesome. So we're going to spread those out so that I can put the salmon in there eventually. Okay. Get the lime juice going. You can squeeze it, use a citrus reamer, whatever you want. I'm just going to use a very simple fork, and we're going to add. I'm a big lime juice fan, so I say 2 tablespoons in here. But if you want to do more than that, depending on how much you enjoy, I say go for it. All right, that looks absolutely fabulous. Questions, comments, thoughts?
On the knife skills,
yes.
Tess says 3.5 this week.
Way to go, Tess. Tess, you are tearing it up in the kitchen. I admire that, every time I see your stuff and you talk about it, you are always like just rocking it. So congrats. Way to go. Keep it up.
Brandon says, we'll practice as much as I did with basketball.
Wow. Then you are gonna be like a 55 on the knife skills. Hey, folks, all jokes aside, I want to make a point. If you just take 1 minute a day, like I just did with, the potatoes, I did with, just take like 1 minute a day, 7 days in a row, 7 minutes, more than 5, less than 10, your knife skills will go up. I promise you, they will go up. So, Brendan, I love it that you want to do it. You're committed to doing it, and just, do it with your, just do it with your significant other folks, with anybody that's around. Practice together. Practice on your own. Doesn't matter. But 1 minute a day, really easy. Okay, our simple, delicious salsa is all set. I mean, that is really like ridiculously easy, tangy. I'm going to bump up the heat here for our TV magic here, and then we're going to get our. I want the other oven on, sorry. We're gonna get our salmon going here. Okay, good. Moving forward. So we got all that now. Let's cut up our salmon. A couple things I want you to think about with the salmon. Salmon fillets are obviously, like everybody's got salmon fillets, easy to do. Everybody has them. If you want to have, try a different way with salmon, how about salmon steaks? Anybody not have a salmon steak before? They're not as popular. I'm just wiping off my knife because everything's dusty in our studio right now. I wiped this off earlier today because I used it, but just to be. What's that? Plus the coronavirus. Yeah, no, yeah, we're good with that. But I like due diligence. I like that. He's on his game. Appreciate that. Keeping everybody safe. You got issues? Talk to Luis. Appreciate it, man. It's good. We have fun. We try to have fun at least. I think you're all having fun, those of you that are watching tonight. Thank you.
Sarah is asking, we're using steel head trout fillets instead of salmon.
Oh, very cool.
That works the same.
That'll be great. Yeah, and actually, Sarah, I'm glad that you brought that up because whether it's trout or it's salmon, the thing I love, and this is a little health benefit for you folks, the thing I love about both of them, And salmon's going to be higher in the following nutrient that I'm going to mention. It's the healthy fats, the omega-3 fatty acids that are in salmon. Trout has them as well. And definitely, trout's going to be a better solution if you want to get omega-3s than, say, cod or a real lean light fish. Okay, they're going to be lower on the omega-3s. But trout's going to be great. So steelhead trout, as you said, love it. The omega-3s, what's so significant about omega-3s, you're wondering? Those omega-3s, folks, those omega-3s are anti-inflammatory, okay? Now, why does that matter? Why does that matter? Well, if you wake up with aches and pains, stiffness, soreness, you want to reduce that as much as you can. And so omega-3s can help with that. Very significant. Highly recommend getting omega-3 rich foods into your life. Salmon, sardines, mackerel, tuna. There's a lot of different fish that are high in omega-3s. And there's also plant-based omega-3s, hemp seeds, flax seeds, chia seeds, that sort of thing. Okay, I'm actually going to cook all of this. So this would be for the fish. Even though I did like batches of the potatoes in half, I'm going to do all the salmon at once. And for the sake of TV magic, I'm going to broil this. Okay, I do not say that on the recipe, but since to be honest, I kind of didn't manage I didn't prep it the way I anticipated with all the TV magic for everything. That's okay. So we're going to broil these guys. We're going to broil the salmon, and then we're going to do a little extra olive oil on there, and the remainder of the salt and pepper on my fish. Beautiful. Okay, we're good there. And then we're going to pop these in the oven. Okay. So you can do it with salsa first, potatoes second, and then fish last, like we talked about, or like it's on the recipe, or you can do like Dominic and I just did, where you do your potatoes in advance and then your salsa's done, and then take your potatoes out and put the fish. If I heard you right, Dominic, put your fish on the pan with the potatoes and finish it. Great way to do it. You want to minimize dishes. Most people don't like dishes, but I have a great idea. If you have people that constantly are disrupting you, you can have them do dishes, so they'll have to do the dishes all the time. Yeah, what do you think about that? Okay, moving forward.
I think she should come to you next year.
You think she should come, and maybe you should. And you can finish, you want to do this? Because it sounds like you got a lot you want to share. All right, speaking of sharing, every episode we want to highlight everything, you're hanging out with us, cooking with us, and you're taking pictures. I didn't mention that till just now. Taking pictures of your dishes so that we can say, awesome job. And I want to show off last episode's dishes, starting with BK Moulin. Faith says, very flavorful. That looks beautiful. Well done, you guys. I love it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Sarah Sosa says, great pork tenderloin dish. The spice blend really made it. Well, that is a wonderful dish. So appreciate you doing this. Folks, this is why we want you to participate. We want you to enjoy it and use these recipes in your life, just like Faith and Company says that they'll be making mine on Friday for lunch. Fantastic. And if you're looking for more recipes that you can make for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or snacks, go to chefmarshallobrien.com and check out our Smart Nutrition Cookbook and Meal Planner. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, Instapot recipes, slow cooker recipes, you name it, it's in there. Over 40 recipes going to help you with meal planning as well. It's a great resource, especially for folks that are just getting into cooking and need some help in the kitchen. So appreciate you doing that. Please take your pictures tonight, whether you cook with us in real time or you're cooking with us on demand. And that's a really unnecessary way of just saying you're doing it whenever you want. I suppose that's the way to do it. All right, my cutting board's gone, so we're done with that. And we're going to take out that salmon right about now. Let's take a look at it. Wow, this looks fantastic. Okay, folks. So I'm going to tell you right now that you like to have your salmon a medium doneness. This is nice, bright, and pink. You might want to cook it a little bit more. Again, I did the broil surprise, right? I did the broil versus the, I sped up the cooking is all I'm trying to say. But that just looks wonderful. So we are going to be dishing up, and when it's all done, our dish is going to have our crispy potatoes, crispy garlic potatoes.
Rosie, aka
Rosie,
Your mom.
aka my mom, thank you so much for joining us
Can
tonight.
I use cod? She asked.
Yes, of course you can use cod. Use any kind of fish. And I appreciate you bringing that up, because at the end of the day, I want you to get all the barriers out of the way. So if it's not exactly, this fish or that fish, doesn't matter. I want you to be able to have great tasting, nourishing foods that are going to work for you and not against you, all right? So speaking of, just make it fun, make it easy. Let's recap, folks. What did we do? What were the tips that we had? We talked about any kind of tomatoes for the simple salsa. We also mentioned that if you make the salsa in advance, it's going to have a better, little richer flavor. Now you could chop this up, or have it, more chunky as I did, but this just looks so good, and I can't wait to try it. Can't wait for you to try it. Wow, look at that. Yum, yum, yum. Definitely you can switch out the fish if you want. Did you get that nice picture? Did you guys get that? Love that. Does that look great? Wow, looks wonderful. Other tips on the potatoes: you can prep the potatoes in advance, and then just chop them up, cut them up a quarter, and put them in cold water in your fridge. Obviously, the water will be cold in your fridge anyways over time, and then cook them later. Okay, something you can do. Also, kids. I'm always trying to incorporate kids into these shows, not necessarily from being a distraction from your show standpoint. That was funny, I thought, but that totally just keeps. Sometimes they just come to me like that. But having kids or your grandkids helping you measure the ingredients, measure out the spices, wash the produce, set the table, any kind of activity that is age appropriate is going to be dynamite. So get your kids involved, or your neighbor's kids, or whomever it might be. We talked the health benefits of those omega-3s from the salmon and other cold water fatty fish. So make sure you get that. Please make sure that you submit your pictures, prepping, cooking, enjoying dinner, cheering another job well done in the kitchen. We want to showcase you in the next episode. All right, folks, thank you so much for being with us tonight. I hope you enjoy the recipe. Make sure that you follow us on Facebook. Please share these with your social network. On Facebook, Chef Marshall O'Brien. Instagram, Chef Marshall O'Brien. On YouTube, Chef Marshall's Cooking with Confidence. I'm also on TikTok, trying to get stuff on there with some different content that I'm doing on the other social media channels at Chef Marshall O'Brien. So check that out. Much appreciate it. If you're looking for new support for like your kids, learning how to cook and things like that, get our Smart Nutrition Cookbook and Meal Planner. And really, I want to emphasize the meal planner component of it, because it teaches you how to get set up yourself for success in the kitchen. We teach you how to plan out breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, salad dressings, all that kind of stuff. So it's a great resource. We're trying to simplify life, taking stress out of the meal planning, all that stuff. We're off next week. On the next week, we'll see you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. See you again soon.